the text boxes are actually working this time, and hopefully my audio is coming in this time as well. See if you guys can hear the helicopter overhead. Okay, looks like I do. Now can I hear myself? All right. Hey, lessons learned. So yeah, I've been grinding on this game. Actually, I kind of exploited the in-game mechanic to try to get some extra gold, and I pimped out my band, I guess, or gang. I don't know, but sometimes I feel like every time we recruit people, they do the creepy like hand thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's like, yeah, we're totally not a gang or anything. And these scripted events, I've run into a couple of them. The first time I ran into like these, hey, we found some loot for you. I opened it and all it had in it was an Antivan toy soldier. I'm like, are you serious? This is all you guys found? And it seems like every time afterwards they show up and they're glitched. I can't seem to open the thing. I'm wondering if it's because I opened the chest, but I didn't actually take the Antivan toy soldier thing. Essentially, it's a junk item. So I'm wondering if I ended up glitching this out. As I was saying, this is the exact exploit that I ended up kind of taking advantage of, which was I opened up a chest that had like a rare item. I take it, I leave the map, I come back, and since I didn't completely empty out the chest, it respawns again, and I just kept selling that. At the Black Emporium, got better items, or got better, at least like the best schematics they had for the characters that I have, and but tier 2 materials, and then pimped up my Inquisitor. As you can see, he's blue now. But now it's time to get on with the story, which is going to be time traveling shenanigans. And suddenly there's this rift here. Cleanse this. Yeah. Actually, since I don't have access to my...
None of my reports indicated temporal distortions near these rifts. Interesting.
We need to find out what caused whatever.
Make her have mercy. It's over. Open the gates.
So... have you ever experienced these time distortions that they're mentioning, lessons learned? Like, the first time I ever played it, I never noticed anything. It's like...
Who's a bitch?
Charming.
Fact.
Like, I never noticed anything different. It wasn't until, like, hey, did you know those time distortion things? It's like, no. What time distortion? I noticed those weird yellow markings, I guess, almost like a spell. Just to slow down, so that's it. Oh. How is that any different than, like, I guess, like, any kind of slowdown effect? I guess because it's not involving grease-based, like, things. I think there's the potion. Actually, that does remind me, I probably should upgrade my potions. So I'm gonna have to take a quick detour back to Haven.
We've spread word the Inquisition was coming. But you should know that no one here was expecting us.
No one? Not even Grand Enchanter Fiona?
Oh god, that paint.
If she was, she hasn't told anyone. We've arranged use of the tavern for the negotiations.
Agents of the Inquisition, my apologies. Magister Alexius is in charge now, but hasn't yet arrived. He's expected shortly. You can speak with the former Grand Enchanter in the meantime.
So this part of the game never made any sense to me. So I take it that Alexis,
We need to talk to the Grand
he
Enchanter.
goes back in time to before the Grand Enchanter even went to, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, the Frenchy city thing where that one lady got punched, and Bon Royal, I think, and he goes back in time to before she even goes over there to approach us. Then she gets her to join him and get the mages to join him. So how come we still remember that she went there if he altered time and we're here? Oh yeah, this place. I think it's a nice upgrade. It seems to still have somewhat the same layout. It just feels more detailed and more practical, as opposed to what the first time, what the limitations they probably had with like the layout of this place and the amount of detail they could put. I guess, but then why doesn't she remember it? Unless she's lying? So she's like, oh yeah, I did go there and tell them to come, but I'm gonna pretend that I didn't? Or I always thought that maybe the Fiona that we saw in Von Royale was fake? That really wasn't her, but then I guess it is. And oh look, I can... It's on the open, so now it's mine, because I put this little flag next to it. So it's just, that part just kind of like, well, if time travel's involved, then how come I can still remember something that didn't happen? Unless, and they never make it to where it's the mark. Oh, is it? Like, I don't ever remember that being said anywhere. Unless it's every time I play through it, I've just kind of like, oh, yeah, whatever. Which would be odd because it's like, why kind of like put yourself in this position where you bring the Inquisition in and draw their attention? Unless it's obviously a trap. But even then, like, if you're setting up a trap, why not have Corythius there? If he's clearly much more powerful.
Mother, I had the dream again last night.
No, there'll be no talk of this.
It was so real. And when I woke up, the ships were as cold as ice.
Yeah, I guess. No. I don't think Sarah can pick that. Nope. My loot senses are tingling. Yep. Just the bridge to the castle. It's broken. No explanation. No one's bothered fixing it because I guess Denarum's economy is that bad. Or not Denarum, Redcliffe's.
No man needs statues so great as those whose remnants lie toppled in these hills. These statues come from ancient dreams of blood and bone, lost to the memory of man. Be wary of them.
Okay.
It sounded like the dream she had before the magic took her.
I remember
There
the
we go.
first time the dead walked these lands.
We're
When a
normal
blood
folk.
mage
We
poisoned
keep our heads
Arlene.
down and let the
The
mages
ashes
and
of
the Templars kill
Andrestia
each other.
herself brought the Owl back from his enchanted slumber.
No one's talking about the teleporting cleric back there. And I
Tell me
guess
about
it's
your
just the exposition
They say
lady.
the spirit dwells in a small lake south of the highway. The girls of the village bring it daisies and ask for love, but rarely does it listen. For 'tis a spirit of valor, not love, and it favors blood lotus flowers.
Okay. What the hell does that have to do with what happened years ago? At least I thought that's what she was talking about.
Do you know what it was?
Something. I don't know.
And yeah, I don't think I've tested this out, but I wonder if that statue is there, if you show up to the village the first time and then just leave and let the dead kill everybody. Or if the statue's still here. I'm willing to bet the statue's still here. It's like, hey, he saved a village even though everybody died.
Is there something you need?
Probably not. Nope. Yeah, the Griffin is celebrating the Grey Wardens, but I wonder if it's there if you ended up not saving the village. You just end up going to, you show up there like, oh no, we need help, please help us, the undead are gonna come and kill us all, and you just leave. And then you get the cutscene with the village showing, the zombies showing up and then killing everybody. You come back and everyone's dead. Except for, like, the one plot point character. Who then, again, progresses the plot. You go save the Arl, and everything's right as rain, except that the village is pretty much dead.
Travel safely.
It still wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, that's it's one of those things that I'm pretty sure it's in the game. You can choose not to help the Redcliffe villagers, and you don't have to do any of those quests that night to fight all those the undead, but everybody in the village dies. I've only done it on purpose just to like in my worst playthrough where I kill everybody. Not that it really matters because they tend to always just retcon anybody they want back to life. So I once did like the worst playthrough where I just killed everybody, and I mean everybody. If you had no plot armor, you died. And of course, what happened? Algren's fine in the expansion. He just shows up and he says, "Oh yeah, you killed me. You tried to kill me. We're fine. It's fine. Everyone tries to kill me. It's fine." And of course, Liliana, oh yeah, I died, but I got better. I don't know if I want to use this stuff. Maybe I should be using this for... rock tonic. I can upgrade healing potions. I don't actually ever really use lyrium potions, although I probably should. Sure. Oops. Ran out of stuff.
You just keep the wounded breathing, sister. I'll get you what you need.
Jar of bees. The bees are actually really effective. Black Ball with some crowd control. Even though you're not going, I guess I should probably give you some lyrium.
That should do for you.
Right, back to the main plot. I've been playing with this group, and something I've kind of never noticed is like the appeal of Sarah. She seems a little more interesting, like, not interesting, I wouldn't call her interesting. She's a little more amusing with her banter with some of the other characters that I've had her around with. But so far, I'm not really seeing the appeal of Blackwall. Blackwall is kind of a character I've never seen the appeal of at all. And actually, surprisingly, I wouldn't say I see a lot, but I do stumble across like quite a bit of like fan art for him. And I never quite understood his appeal. I mean, he's a, like, appearance-wise, he's fine. I mean, if I was gonna hook up with him and have a fling with him, I wouldn't say no. But like, so far, like, personality-wise, he seems kind of bland. It's like, I wonder if that's just kind of by design, because he's like, oh yeah, I'm totally a Grey Warden. And maybe he's trying not to let too much of himself out, and trying to pretend to be the stoic Grey Warden with like no...
Too many people dying for want of simple herbs. My apologies.
I'm trying not to be like too un-Grey Warden-like. You're low on herbs.
Are you running short of healing herbs?
Yes. We've many injured from attacks by those cursed Templars. I need the herbs to treat people's wounds. It's too dangerous to go hunting through the hills to gather more. I've a list there of the herbs I need.
There are refugees at the crossroads who would benefit from a healer.
Of course they would. These attacks by the Templars have endangered countless innocent lives. But if I go to the crossroads to help, I might end up in danger myself. I doubt those refugees would risk their lives for a knife here. Why should I risk mine for them?
A knife, yeah.
Have people called you a knife ear?
Every day. They need the salves I sell, but they spit on me once they've paid. These villagers only tolerate me because Templars killed their human healer. I doubt the humans at the crossroads would be any different.
Sure, they may be bigots and racist, but we care. That makes it okay.
The Inquisition welcomes anyone willing to help. Human, elf, or otherwise.
Yeah, but I'm not asking her to join the Inquisition.
We'll ensure that you're taken care of.
All right. If the Inquisition soldiers are there, I might be safer regardless.
We'll protect you, but you'll have to deal with the racism on own. Like, I understand that we'll definitely protect you for sure, but and keep your safety, but
are you running short of healing herbs?
That doesn't really quite solve her racism issue.
It's too dangerous to go hunting through the hills to gather more. I've a list there of them. Stay safe out there.
Oh, this right here.
May I help you?
I found some of the herbs you were looking for.
Thank you.
Oh, this is
goodbye.
One of those repeatable quests. Actually, I can probably go back here and go recruit that one guy. Yeah, so I don't think I've ever really had interacted very much with Blackwall post-game. I think I've taken him with me when it comes to like the Grey Warden quest, and then I did his little personal quest where we find out he's really a charlatan this whole time.
You've done amazing work out
But
here.
like,
thanks to you, these refugees are safe.
personality-wise, I've never really found them all that appealing.
The Inquisition might be able to make use
that's why I'm taking him with me,
if you had a
Elvis,
mind to.
every time. Recruit the skilled.
What are you suggesting?
we could ask the best and brightest to join the Inquisition. They would serve well. Just as easy to put them to work, or look at the whole thing as an act of charity.
I bet no one's ever asked them to join anything.
Having a purpose makes the troubled times easier to bear. And ours is a good cause.
We need gold more than a few more scouts or the dubious goodwill of the peasants.
So I take it these are going to be like...
Some of these people have skills that can help the Inquisition. See if any of them want to volunteer.
I'm sure we'll get some good recruits out of it. I'll go now and set things up with the refugees. But thank you again. These people are alive because of you. None of us will forget that.
See, this kind of like always kind of makes me uncomfortable, especially before you're even the Inquisitor. It's like you're saluting him in kind of with your own secret handshake. It's like, oh yeah, we're definitely not a cult. The Chantry doesn't definitely have nothing to fear from us. At least it makes me uncomfortable when I've tried to roleplay. Well, you are the herald. Yeah, but that's the thing. I've always tried to, when I roleplay, I try to play down the herald of Inquisitor. Like, okay, guys, like, yeah, I have this thingy, but I don't think I'm God's chosen person, or picked by like Inquisitor and stuff. It's like, you guys can believe what you want, but like, please don't worship me. But it doesn't seem to matter what I say. They still worship me anyways.
What if I took flowers to your wife's shrine?
So it always just makes me a little uncomfortable. It's like,
I do not know what to say, except thank you. I never expected anyone not of the blood to care. My Senna would be grateful. Her shrine lies on a hill to the west, near the tablstones. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Walk in peace.
oh my god, all these like little tiny trivial quests. It's like I need to keep count. Like there's 2 quests, that involves like a widow or something. It's like, I lost my husband's ring. Like there's one in this area where she's like, the Templars killed my husband and they took his wedding ring. Like, could you get that back for me? I could probably buy all of these. I think most of these are probably going to be useless to me. But then there's like another one at the temple of the skull head thingies, and it's like, oh, I left my husband's ring in the cave somewhere and I want it back, but there's spiders there. It's like, are you serious? Like, you just recycled your stupid fetch quest purpose. It's like a widow who lost her wedding ring. It's like I'm kind of busy trying to save the world. Like, is this really a good use of my time? But I guess I have to think of it as like a politician kissing babies and stuff. Like, oh yeah, vote for me, the Inquisitor. The Chantry definitely doesn't have anything to fear from me. I'll just buy everything. And I actually don't need these because I have better stuff.
Good day.
Majesty, you're the right player to Inquisitor. Inquisitor, they will never take that away just because you're a mage. It's not your fault. It happens to any of us. It doesn't help. That's why people hate us. Just stop. You don't know what you're talking about.
In Soviet Russia, mages take Templars and put them in circles. Or squares.
The Venatori created the Oculara to search for something. Something like those strange shards.
The who now? The Venatori? Who are the Venatori? Viviana, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think the Venatori's been introduced at all.
Every ocularum is made from the skull of a tranquil.
I had wondered what became of those poor souls when the circles collapsed. Now we know.
What are you talking about?
Skull was... No, done thinking about it. Done.
I had hoped they were safe with the rebel mages. I see that I was mistaken.
But I've seen Tranquil around. Some, not a whole lot. So this one shack is the entire source of all these Orcalorum thingies. But the Orcalorum things don't make any sense outside of a gameplay mechanic to artificially extend time and fetchy quest things. So this is a funny thing. So the very first time I ever played Inquisition, I completely missed seeing Connor here because he did survive my playthrough or the story that I imported. I completely did not see him at all. And then so when I went through time and then I saw I walked into the room where he's supposed to be and he gets incinerated or whatever because he tries to fight a demon off. It's all no, Connor! I'm like, wait, what? Connor, the guy from, the kid from the first game, how do you know Connor? What are you talking about? It's why is he here? And it never made any sense. It's why does my Inquisitor know Connor and why does he care that some random guy just died?
Are you Connor?
You've heard the story, I guess. I can't believe King Alistair thought Redcliffe was the right place to send the mages.
That's what the
I mean,
name
he grew
over
up
my
here.
head said.
Did he think they would just forget what I did to them?
You were behind the siege of Redcliffe 10 years ago.
That's me. The boy with Redcliffe's blood on his hands.
If I were you, I wouldn't have set foot in Redcliffe again unless I was dragged in chains.
I had nowhere else to go. When we closed the circles, every city shut its doors to us. There was nowhere else to go. I hate it. I can feel the blood on the stones, even if I can't see it.
Why isn't Arl Eamon in power anymore?
Why not be pragmatic and just camp outside the city?
I couldn't be his heir, not after what happened. So eventually he passed the title to Uncle Tegan.
How did you end up in the Mage Rebellion?
I was living in the Ferelden Tower when the circles dissolved. I voted against it, but at first it seemed all right. No one was summoning demons. They just wanted to oversee themselves. But then the Magister came, and it's wrong what they do in Tevinter. We are monsters. We need to be controlled. If it wasn't for me, every family in this village wouldn't be missing a son, a daughter, a spouse.
You're not in favor of the alliance with Tevinter.
Alliance? Is that what they're calling it? That Magister threw my uncle out into the street. He signed us into servitude. This is my home. Redcliffe, Ferelden. No matter what evils I've done, I would never have invited Tevinter here.
I need to be going.
Please, talk some sense into the Grand Enchanter. Selling out to the Imperium won't win us any friends. We have to find a way to make peace.
The Inquisitor. That's surely what makes peace. No. I read a book and suddenly I'm stronger. I'll just keep dropping bags of gold. Let's get that. Since it'll probably be useful.
Hello. Good day.
Oh, yeah.
Bodies lying butchered on the side of the road.
Which is odd because I think they still mention copper. Actually, no. I think they had. I almost want to say they had coppers and silver in Dragon Age 2. I think they dropped the copper and silver here. I could be wrong. And they made it just strictly gold, but
They say Andraste
I think that's
sent
just
you
to
save
try
the
to
world.
simplify
If it'll
things,
help
again,
save lives and
streamline
bring
and make it
peace,
more
I'll be the first
accessible
to
to the masses. Or maybe just trying to remove themselves away from WoW. Which actually now I'm starting to wonder if WoW even still has copper. You get gold, paid in gold, yeah. And again, I think it's odd because I'm almost sure even in this game, they still reference coppers. Like, oh yeah, I can't rub two coppers together. You seem doubtful.
I don't have to worry about you falling at my feet in worship, then? That has been tiresome.
I believe we must each attend to our own lives to find salvation.
Are you working for the Mage Rebellion?
Mages are children of the Maker, no less than the rest of us. They struggle no less with questions of faith.
Oh. The card game scene. Oh yeah. I've kind of forgotten about that.
Does that mean you support their freedom?
Given a choice between the circle and death, most mages willingly gave up some small freedoms for safety. But the pendulum swings, and now it seems any restraint is too much. I think they should have a chance to prove they deserve freedom.
I don't see any other priests in the village. Where is everybody?
The Magister had the others escorted out for their own safety, but I refused. He can throw me out if he wants. Until then, I tend to my flock.
What are your feelings on the mages working with Tevinter?
The Imperium burned Andraste. Since then, we have led 4 exalted marches against them. Yet in all those marches, they still acknowledged the Maker. Now I speak of him and the Magisters laugh. Something has happened, and I dread to learn what.
I will leave you to your duties.
Make us speed you, my child.
There is a lot of pollen in the air.
Demons in the countryside. Are these the end times?
I am Sister Tanner. May I help you?
Are you a Chantry sister?
A lay sister only. I work here to help the poor and extend the Maker's kindness to those who need it. It is very busy work, especially in these times, but let me know if I can ever help you.
No, you're
I found the letter you sent a Templar named Corin.
What? Shit. You can't prove anything. A letter from a rogue Templar. Nobody is going to care. So, what do you intend to do?
Why not join us?
What kind of cut are you getting from the gross? What kind of protection are
Hey,
your
I
supplies
got a trophy.
offering? The Inquisition could use someone who can move goods around quietly. And we could protect you.
Are you serious? The high and mighty Inquisition needs smugglers. All right, I'm in. Seems like the Inquisition is the safer bet these days.
And again with the secret handshakes. Oh no, this is an actual handshake. See, this would make more sense. I'd be more comfortable like, hey, let's make a deal. Oh yeah, so the power system is so screwed too. It's just like, look at that. I have 95 power just from not even progressing the plot, just the 4 areas that I can go to. I've acquired that much power and influence. This is the chantry. It's like, I sort of understand what they were trying to go for with like the power and the influence meter and the perks.
Let's join the Inquisition.
But I think they made it a little too easy to get too much power really fast.
Good day.
Which, oh, now that I think about it, I guess they could have made it even harder, which might have made the game a little more grindy.
As you've wandered, have you by any chance seen a ram that is Wolseley wandered off? And he's very special. If you could find him, I'd be most grateful.
What makes your ram so special?
Well, he's always brought the family luck. And his advice helped us make our fortune.
Your ram offered advice.
He's a very special ram.
And you didn't take better care of him.
Your ram has gone missing.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm certain that if he heard his Jimmy missed him, he'd come right back. He's likely at our family's old summer cabin. It's by the lake in the southern hills. If you do find him and send him back, I'd be happy to pay you.
I'll speak
How
with you
would
later.
I prove that I'm the
If you
one
find
that
my
sent him
ram,
back?
Please send him home.
If I wonder if the implication would be a bottleneck if... Yeah, but like for the large amount of quests that I could just do like little tiny insignificant quests, like say, hey, oh no, I found a ring, well here's your ring, thanks! It's like suddenly like 1 power, it's like, does that warrant enough, like, me getting that much influence from, like, one lady because I gave her back her ring? I mean, I guess if she, like, spreads my word and stuff, I guess that makes sense, but... It just seems a bit... a bit too much, like, oh... Again, like, shaking hands and kissing babies. That doesn't feel like it should work.
Welcome, agents of the Inquisition. First Enchanter Vivienne?
My dear Fiona, it's been so long since we last spoke. You look dreadful. Are you sleeping well?
What has brought you to Redcliffe?
We're here because of your invitation back in Val Royeaux.
You must be mistaken. I haven't been to Val Royeaux since before the Conclave.
Well, that's very strange, because someone who looked exactly like you spoke to me in Val Royeaux a few days ago.
Yeah.
Exactly like me.
Is.
I suppose it could be magic at work, but why would anyone... Whoever or whatever brought you here? The situation has changed. The free mages have already pledged themselves to the service of the Tevinter Imperium.
Fiona, dear, your dementia is showing.
As one indenture to a magister, I no longer have the authority to negotiate with you.
You're ignoring every recent time.
The Divine's corpse is barely cold, and you've already joined the Imperium.
Most of Thedas blames us for the Divine's death. The Templar attacks grew worse, and we mages had no allies. Either my people made a last stand here in Redcliffe, or we took the only offer of help extended to us. I had to save them. I had no other choice.
Welcome,
Yeah,
my friends. I apologize for not greeting
Vivienne has
you
been
earlier.
amusing, but too bad you can't really
Agents
give
of
her
the
any kind of
Inquisition.
comeuppance
Allow
of
me to
any
introduce
sort.
Magister Girion Alexius.
The Southern Mages are under my command. And you are the survivor? Yes, the one from the Fade. Interesting.
I'd like to know more about this alliance between the rebel mages and the Imperium.
Certainly. What specifically do you wish to know?
The Grand Enchanter told me she was indentured to a magister.
Our southern brethren have no legal status in the Imperium. As they were not born citizens of Tevinter, they must work for a period of 10 years before gaining full rights. As their protector, I shall oversee their work for the Imperium.
I'm not clear on when exactly you negotiated this arrangement with Fiona.
When the Conclave was destroyed, these poor souls faced the brutality of the Templars, who rushed to attack them. It could only be through divine providence that I arrived when I did.
It was certainly very timely.
What does the Imperium gain from taking rebel mages under its wing?
For the moment, the Southern mages are a considerable expense. After they are properly trained, they will join our legion.
You said not all my people would be military. There are children, those not suited.
And one day I'm sure they will all be productive citizens of the Imperium when their debts are paid.
I haven't seen any
Doesn't
sign
that seem
of
to kind of go
Redcliffe's
back
Arl
against
or
your
his
deal,
men.
which
The
wouldn't
Arl
that
of Redcliffe
void
left the
it
village.
then?
Left? An Arl would never voluntarily leave his seat.
There were tensions growing. I did not want an incident.
You're quite a long way from Tevinter, Alexius.
Indeed I am, though I have heard you are no Ferelden either. It seems we are both strangers here.
Yeah, I wonder what gave it away. The horns,
Felix,
or
would you send for a
his
scribe,
manly
please?
kunari
Pardon my
nipples.
My son Felix, friends. I am not surprised you're here. Containing the breach is not a feat that many could even attempt.
Yeah.
There is no telling how many mages would be needed for such an endeavor. Ambitious indeed.
Well, when you're fighting a massive tear in the sky, you can hardly afford to think small.
There will have to be. Felix.
My lord, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, Father.
Come, I'll get your powders. Please excuse me, friends. We will have to continue this another time. Fiona, I require your assistance back at the castle.
I don't mean to trouble everyone.
I shall send word to the Inquisition. We will conclude this business at a later date.
Come to the Chantry. You are in danger.
Wow, aren't we secrety?
We'll be careful, but we need to figure out what's going on here.
Yes, I did. I recruited Iron Bolt. I'm just kind of choosing not to use them because I've always used them in previous playthroughs. I've been wanting to just, like, have other characters that I don't typically play with.
By another name.
Who are you?
Linnea. Just Linnea. Don't ask what Circle Tower I'm from, because we're done with that. We're all free mages now.
You'd rather bow to Tevinter than join the Inquisition?
Don't tell me you bought the Chantry's lies about how evil Tevinter is. It's just because they're ruled by mages. No one wants us to look at them and say their mages are free and the world hasn't ended.
Don't magisters summon demons and practice human sacrifice?
The Chantry says whatever they think will scare us. What's wrong with blood magic? People don't like the idea of us controlling their thoughts, but they have no problem with us throwing fireballs in their wars. In Tevinter, the mages police themselves. It works.
Why does everyone think we're part of the Chantry? We left the Chantries. They hate us.
Right. And I'm the Empress of Orlais. Go back to your Templars. We don't need you.
Also, do you feel like the choice between Templars and mages is kind of a non-choice? It feels like trying to recruit the mages seems far more interesting than recruiting the Templars. Like, I've never really felt compelled. There's also like the power barrier. Like, I think you have to pay power to go to the Templars. Versus like you've already here at the hinterlands and you could just walk over here and seal the one gate.
Magister Alexius wishes only mages to remain in Redcliffe. He will approve of you. He does not approve of me. Many villagers have already left to escape his ire.
I am a mage.
What does the Magister have against you?
He does not like to be reminded of what mages can become. He says all Tranquil must leave Redcliffe, but who would take us in?
You're one of the Tranquil?
Yes, my talent for magic was insufficient to protect me from demons.
Oh yeah, he does have a
Rather
little brand
than
on
risk
his
me
head.
becoming possessed,
You would
the
think he would
circle
know
removed
that. Oh
my
yeah, you're
connection to
clearly a
the
Tranquil
Fae.
because you got the
My
thingy
magic
on his
is
head.
gone, along with my dreams and desires. Those now in Redcliffe prefer not to see us.
How long have Devinters been here?
Magister Alexius arrived at nightfall, 2 days after we retreated from the Temple of Sacred Ashes. He forced anyone without magic out of the castle, save those he required to serve him. Even the Arl was sent away.
Farewell then.
One moment. You are a member of the Inquisition, are you not? I am an alchemist. You must require potions. If the Magister will not have me here, perhaps I can offer my services.
This is kind of always seemed a little odd. It's like they're tranquil, they're cut off from the Fae, they no longer have dreams or desires, and yet they have like he clearly still has wants and wants like, oh, I want to join the Inquisition, like or he has a talent for alchemy, so I assume that means he has some passion for it. It's like, hey, I'm good at doing the one thing, and maybe I should keep doing it. It seems like slightly, they're not like complete drones. It seems like it'd be kind of an interesting concept to explore, but I don't think they ever really fully explore it. Or maybe it's just really inconsistent.
We would be delighted to have you working for the Inquisition.
Because I mean, otherwise they'd just be
While one
relegated
lives,
to really
it is
remedial
good to believe
tasks.
there is still a use for one's talents.
We all did.
Inquisition, huh? I wish to Holy Andraste you'd gotten here sooner. These two winters make my shoulder blades itch.
Who are you?
Name's Talwyn, formerly of the Circle of Magi in Hosberg. Lived my whole life there, since I was 10 years old and came into my magic. 3 meals a day, quality education, a roof over my head. If you're not summoning demons, a mage tower's a fireplace.
Oh yeah, actually I think you're right about the power thing. Now that I remember, it's like I think I have to recruit Dorian, he tells me the thing, and then I have to go back to the war table to initiate the quest.
If you were happy in the Circle, why are you here with the rebels?
We're all rebels now. The vote saw to that. The majority wanted to dissolve the circles. The rest of us went with them or were cut loose.
There are still some of us who are loyal in the Empress's court.
I figured I'm better off with my fellow mages than on my own.
You're not happy with this new alliance?
Something's not right about that lot. They're not like us. Magic or no, I'd rather count myself among decent folk than stand with magisters.
You know, I wonder how many if mages want to be free and there's a war going on, they're constantly like fighting back and forth, like, and they don't want to join the mage rebellion. I wonder how many of them have like just run away, move to like a different town, kind of away to the conflict, and just pretend they're not mages and not use magic at all. It's like, I know there's Templars and stuff that seem to have some sort of weird magic detecting ability, and that's how they find mages. But if they're kind of busy being occupied elsewhere, fighting the mage rebellions, like, I think you'd be kind of fine. At least for the most part, although you do have to constantly live in fear of being discovered. Which I guess is also no real way to live, but maybe better than being being somewhere that you don't really want to be. Roughing it in like the wild and probably fighting a weird guerrilla war that you don't want to fight in.
How did the Grand Enchanter end up working with Tevinter?
1 minute, we were bracing for the Templars to attack. The next, we had a Magister ally. It was a stroke of luck that's given us an edge. In a way.
Well, I guess the phylacteries are just to find specific mages, but I think the Templars can like sort of sense magic, maybe, or just magic usage, like if they're near them. At least that was the implication with Bethany in the second game. It's like, oh, I always had to try to avoid the hanging around Templars too long, or else they might discover my magic.
Goodbye.
Be careful. The Tevinters likely aren't happy you're asking questions.
And then I assume that's how she gets discovered at the end of chapter 1 if she stays behind. Let's see, anything I can steal. And it's kind of too bad they didn't put in that mechanic like, ooh, I'm stealing, I'm breaking and entering, taking stuff, and like lose power from people. It's like, oh, that Inquisitor, he kind of just like waltzed into my house and took stuff. He took my antique. These two bozos just barged into my house and took my Antiquian toy soldier and then put it in a chest. And say they needed it for the Inquisition. I don't think so. Like, I can barely tell you anything about the Mage Collective.
You're from the Inquisition? I didn't think you'd still be here. Were you really looking to ally with us?
Is that so hard to believe?
Everyone blames us. The Templars left the Chantry too. That's worse, isn't it? They took an oath. Yet everyone calls it the Mage Rebellion. We're the ones they hate. What choice did we have? Stay and be slaves?
There are better ways than war to affect change.
I hope you can do something. Tying ourselves to Tevinter. That can't be the right way to end this.
Instead, you tie yourself to a cause, a completely different cause, that also utilizes you as soldiers. Yeah, that's totally a different alternative.
You seem young to be part of this.
I'm Lisas. I came into my magic when I was 9 years old. Templars came into the alienage and took me to the Circle. They didn't even let me say goodbye. It's not right. I studied hard. I passed my harrowing. I sing the charm. But I'll be locked up for the rest of my life.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's very funny to just see her. She's like so high privileged and stuff. She was like, when I talked to her back at the Chantry, she's like, you know, like, oh, I didn't have a bad experience in the Circle and stuff, so I'm not sure why everyone keeps bitching. It's like, oh, it's, yeah, because your experience is, like, very abnormal. It's like you married, like, some high-rich person because you thought you were hot, and, like, you have a position of privilege where you can just not be in the circle. You're still part of the circle, but you're allowed to go, like, live at his house in his mansion and hang out at the court and, like, be completely fine because you don't have those restrictions that everyone else has in the circle. And it's like, you don't see that, Vivian. It's like, just because you didn't have a bad experience doesn't mean that everyone else doesn't have a bad experience. And sure, your experience is just, your experience in the circle is just as valid, but the problem is that it's no problem if you're part of the circle and you don't have a bad experience. It is a problem though if anybody in the circle has a bad experience. It gets tortured and dies and essentially gets treated as a subhuman. It's like she can't see past the end of her own nose. She gained the system and her power comes from... Yeah, and that's actually something I have, from what I recall, with the advertising for a lot of the characters, those commercials, like some of the trailers, like there's one for Iron Bull and there's one for Vivian is sick in my mind. They're like doing something, like Vivian's like arguing with somebody in like in her high mansion or wherever she is, and then it's like suddenly the hand thing happens, or the breach actually happens, the explosion and the rip, and all it does is like she like looks at it and it's like like it's like she's smiling. It's like power and opportunity, like I can take advantage of this. It's the same with Iron Bull. He's like fighting in the battle and it's like that happens, like ha, like a new battle. It doesn't seem like for them, I'm not sure if the other characters have like a similar trailers, but it doesn't seem like oh crap, like shit's going to go down and stuff. It's like it always seems like opportunity and power. It's like with Vivian, you could just see like the little money signs in her eyes. It's like, how can I take advantage of this to get myself to higher power? It's like, I don't think that's the intent, but that's the way it comes off. It's like, and we're supposed to like these characters.
You don't approve of the Grand Enchanter's decision?
I was there when we voted to leave the circle. She really seemed to care what we wanted. She was ready to rebel, but she wasn't going to.
The thing is with Vivian, it's like she seems like a commentary on the privileged, but I don't think anything happens or comes from it. Like, I don't feel like she ever has like a character growth moment where she's like, you know, peasants and stuff. Like, maybe just because I'm privileged doesn't mean that everyone else was or isn't, or their experiences are just as valid. I don't think she ever has like a character growth moment at all, which I feel like kind of defeats the purpose of her then.
How long has Magister Alexius been here?
A day or two after. After the Conclave, he arrived. Come to save us from the wrath of the Templars, they said. But this doesn't feel like safety.
Take care of yourself. There's something strange going on.
I never thought the Grand Enchanter would swear to a Magister.
Y'all, I wonder how often people think about it. How often do you think like, I wonder if my Grand Enchanter will ever swear themselves to a Magister? Because you apparently, those are reserved for the Grand. Yeah. Of course, Vivian is also not a romantic love interest. You can hit on her. It's like, hey, any chance we could hook up? Please, you're beneath me. Like, please, peasant. Like, you might have power and stuff. Which actually, well, I guess, like, I could see her hooking up with, like, the Inquisitor just for political power, but even then, I don't really see...
Good! You're finally here!
Being married to the Inquisitor ever really being a power move. At least not one that anyone would really acknowledge. Outside of, like, celebrity. And we've met. Here's our fabulous mage.
Fascinating. How does that work exactly? You don't even know, do you? You just wiggle your fingers and boom. Rift closes.
Actually, I don't even think he wiggles
Who are
his
you?
fingers. I think he just sticks his hand up
Getting
in
ahead
the
of
air.
myself again, I see. Dorian of House Parvus, most recently of Minrathous. How do you do?
Yeah, I intend
Let
on
one
romancing
Tevinter in.
him.
Suddenly they're scurrying out of all the walls like roaches.
Now, I'm ever so much more handsome than a cockroach. Magister Alexius was once my mentor.
He's got a mustache.
So my assistance should be valuable, as I'm sure you can imagine.
I was expecting Felix to be here.
I'm sure he's on his way. He
I'm
was
still
to
going
give
to
you the
seek with
note,
Iron
then
Bull,
meet
but
us
I
here
intend on
after ditching
romancing
his
him.
father.
But it's kind of cute and interesting to... I kind of like a lot of like the pairings and stuff, or like side shipping that happens if you don't romance them, and then they end up kind of hooking up with each other. Actually, a lot of people seem to be into it because there's like a lot of fan art between Iron Bull and Dorian.
Alexius couldn't jump to Felix's side fast enough when he pretended to be faint. Something wrong with him.
He's had some lingering illness for months. Felix is an only child, and Alexius is being a mother hen, most likely.
Are
Most
you a
likely. I
magister?
thought you guys were like
All right,
friends.
let's say this once. I'm a mage from Tevinter, but not a member of the Magisterium. I know Southerners use the terms interchangeably, but that only makes you sound like barbarians.
I don't know how you actually get them to be friends, or how you start initiating like the thing. Actually, my second playthrough, I quit because like Dorian's side quest wasn't initiating; it was glitched. This was like back when the game first came out. It glitched, and I couldn't initiate his side quest, which means that I couldn't romance him. So I like completely rage quit. Although I did like pick the game back up. Or maybe that was my third one. It might have been my third playthrough. Because I did do a second one where I played my terrible playthrough, which means I skipped a lot of the side quests and made a really evil elf lady who is very power hungry, and she tried killing everyone. But that's the issue too. I don't think you can kill anyone except for maybe Blackwall. And that's only if you have to be friends with them. So you have to get him to like you enough for him to want to turn himself in. And then you have to leave him there to rot. And presumably he gets killed. But you don't... I don't think you ever kill anyone on screen. Except for Iron Bull, which was later added in. There's... I don't think you can kill anyone vanilla in the vanilla game. Well, just like Andromeda, you can't kill anyone. You have to have them... Oh, yeah, I guess that would make sense to where they start bantering and kind of giving... I'm probably just dropping a lot of the dialogue. That's something I like, but if you... And you end up missing a lot of that, especially when there's like 9 different characters. So that means you have to have... You have to constantly be changing your party up. But like... If I'm a mage, why would I take like 3 mages with me? It seems like, especially when some of the environmental things want you to have different types of, or different classes in your party so that you can pick locks, bash through doors, or use magic to fix stuff.
Are you the one who sent that note then?
I am. Someone had to warn you after all. Look, you must know there's danger. That should be obvious even without the note. Let's start with Alexius claiming the allegiance of the mage rebels out from under you. As if by magic, yes? Which is exactly right. To reach Redcliffe, before the Inquisition, Alexius distorted time itself.
He arranged it so he could arrive here just after the Divine died.
You catch on quick.
Manipulating time itself? Many have attempted over the ages, but never once succeeded.
The rift you closed here. You saw how it twisted time around itself? Sped
Not
some
really,
things
because
up
I
and slowed
avoided
others
those
down.
parts. The clearly
Soon,
marked
there will be
areas.
more like it. And they'll appear further and further away from Redcliffe. The magic Alexius is using is wildly unstable, and it's unraveling the world.
You're asking me to take a lot on faith.
I know what I'm talking about. I helped develop this magic. When I was still
But I'll
his
never use
apprentice,
it.
It was pure theory. Alexius could never get it to work. What I don't understand is why he's doing it. Ripping time to shreds just to gain a few hundred lackeys?
He didn't do it for them.
Did it for
Took
me.
you long enough? Is he getting suspicious?
No, but I shouldn't have played the illness card. I thought he'd be fussing over me all day. My father's joined a cult, Tevinter Supremacists. They call themselves Venatori.
Venatori, you say?
tell you one
Hey,
thing.
Vivian, you seem
Whatever
to
he's done
already
for them,
know a
he's
lot
done it
about
to
this
get to you.
Venatori. Could you tell us more?
Alexius is your father.
Oops.
Why are you
Animation
working
glitch.
against him?
For the same reason Dorian works against him. I love my father, and I love my country. But this? Cults? Time magic? What he's doing now is madness. For his own sake, you have to stop him.
It would also be nice if he didn't rip a hole in time. There's already a hole in the sky.
Yeah, what's
Why
another
would he
hole
rearrange
in
time and
the fabric
indenture
of
the
time
Mage
and
Rebellion
space?
just to get to me?
They're obsessed
Time
with
and
you,
space are like
but I don't know why. Perhaps
really
because you
versatile
survived the
whores.
Temple of Sacred Ashes.
You can close the
Oh,
rifts.
they're like classy
Maybe there's a connection.
prostitutes.
Well, they see you
They'll
as a
put
threat.
out, but not just for
If the
anyone. You have to have
Venatori
the
behind
right
those
amount
rifts
of
or the
like
breach in the
energy
sky,
and magic.
They're even worse than I thought.
Or in Star Trek's case, technobabble. But sometimes they open up themselves to you randomly. If you're lucky or unlucky.
All this for me. And I didn't get Alexius anything.
Send him a fruit basket. Everyone loves those. You know you're his target. Expecting the trap is the first step in turning it to your advantage. I can't stay in Redcliffe. Alexius doesn't know I'm here, and I want to keep it that way for now. But whenever you're ready to deal with him, I want to be there. I'll be in touch. Oh, and Felix, try not to get yourself killed.
There are worse things than dying, Dorian.
Foreshadowing, woo! The old chantry. Can't go there. No loot. They'll have opinions, because we've made them very opinionated. Loading.
Oh, demons don't scare me. I'll fight 10 at once.
Ease up, big horse.
It's not arrogance if it's earned, Sarah dear. We'll see if he deserves it.
Alright. Have any other quests spawn? These other little pity patter quests that don't seem to matter. Yep, I'm not gonna bother with those right now. Trying to hit another load screen. Make sure my inventory is cleared out.
Master
I got some armor for Dorian all set too. Fabulous armor. Oh hey, I can equip that. And iron bull. Oh, I guess you still haven't leveled up. This one. A bunch of amulets. And a bunch of these stupid rings that I haven't unlocked the abilities for. Let's see. Maybe we should chat with everybody and see what they think. Just like the tutorial notes said. Any thoughts, Cassandra?
Do you need something?
Nope.
That's enough for now.
Another...
Yes? Is there anything I should know?
Redcliffe wasn't always a refuge for mages. Some of our recruits have family there. They fear for the place, as do I.
Is there anything I should know?
I'm glad to have the charges on our side. All's men are professionals, despite evidence to the contrary.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present. Should you require anything, I'll be here.
What can I do for you?
Anything
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the charges?
Nothing jumps out at me. If I come up with any ideas, I'll let you know.
We'll talk later.
Can I help you?
See you later.
See you.
Good day to you.
Let's see, so far no one really has their opinions. Alright, charlatan.
I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that need your attention. You didn't have to take the time to help me, and yet you did.
It helps our cause. It was on the way.
Don't mention it. We happen to be in the area.
And here I thought we were having a special bonding moment. But I've seen enough of this Inquisition to believe that we do good work.
I'm just hiding the bad.
There will be opportunities for us to do even more in the future.
Then I look forward to it.
I want to hear more about you.
Compared to yours, my life will seem dull indeed.
Your name, Blackboard,
I guess I hadn't
doesn't
actually
sound
talked to
Orlesian.
him.
Marcher, then? For Eldon?
I was from the Free Marchers originally. Markham. That was a long time ago. Another life.
I hear that many wardens were once criminals.
Past that you're fabricating,
You're right.
or at least you're basing
When
it
you
based
join,
off
your past
the
is
real
forgotten, so let's
Blackwall.
leave it that way.
I don't want to talk
What did
about
you
my
do
past.
before you became a warden?
I was a soldier, a nobody trained to wield a sword and follow orders. I grew weary of fighting other men's wars.
So you became a warden?
More or less. Becoming a Grey Warden was the first time I felt like I mattered. The life I led before seems hollow in comparison. Perhaps one day it will fade away.
Or catch up to you.
Why did you join the wardens?
Because they remember honor and sacrifice. Words that have little meaning to the rest of us. Because they lay down their lives for those they have sworn to protect.
It's
We all
very
need to believe there are
romanticized, and
such
you're
men
gonna
in the
get your
world.
feelings hurt.
I needed to believe I could be one of them.
We can continue this discussion at another time.
But I understand where he's
Very
coming from. It feels good to
Something on
have
your
like,
mind?
work for a cause or
What do
have
you
a
think of the
purpose.
Inquisition?
You already know what I think of your forces. I'm not sure what else there is to say.
We should return to our...
Need something?
No.
Carry.
Oh.
Hey, it's you again.
Sarah?
I see.
She's a feisty one.
I just like how she's like the only one that has like, I can kick you out at any
Back if I
time.
need you.
Actually, my evil playthrough, I managed to scare her off. It's like, you better be running. You better get running or else you're gonna be in my crosshairs. She like got scared and ran off.
Yes?
And something I mentioned, it's
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report.
after you recruit Blackwell, she's all like, huh, Blackwell's not anything I expected out of a warden. And I'm like, I wonder if she knew or suspected. And I'm like,
I'll leave you to your
you've hung around enough Grey Wardens. Granted, unless she kind of ended up hanging out with the Grey Wardens in some more official capacity. I guess she wouldn't really know how Grey Wardens act.
Go in peace.
Since I assume that hanging around the hero of Ferelden would probably be not quite as a conventional Grey Warden than like the actual Grey Wardens. But you'd think if she's been more worldly, maybe worked alongside them, she'd be like, something's off about this Blackwall guy.
Yes?
Do you think that you and I might, someday...
You and I? Don't be absurd, my dear.
More healing drafts for you, revered mother. Tell Segret I've received permission to sell him a few things. Good day to you.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
None in particular. Our guests are well pleased with what they've seen.
Ah. And I always forget about Mother Giselle. I feel like she was meant to be more of an important character, but then she kind of just, after you move from Haven to Skyhold, it seems like she kind of stops being important.
Farewell.
Farewell.
Ooh, 73 whole pieces of gold. I guess they are even. So I guess, like, the barrier of entry would have to do the additional quest, because you could just start this right away. After you have to choose between them. Although once you start doing that, it's kind of like, if you do those other side quests, it's kind of hard to be like, I feel more invested with the mages. You know what? I think I'm going to go choose the Templars. After listening to like Dorian and stuff, but I guess it's possible. Trying to understand why, how come I can't just go here and then have some other people go over there?
We don't have the manpower
Whatever.
to take the castle. Either we find another way in, or give up this nonsense and go and get the Templars.
Redcliffe is in the hands of a Magister. This cannot be allowed to stand.
The letter from Alexius asked for the Herald of Andraste by name.
It's an obvious trap.
I always like how I change out of my armor and into pajamas to get to the war table. Even though, like, my armor is a lot more revealing than my skin-tight pajamas.
Isn't that kind of him? What does Alexius say about me?
He's so complimentary that we are certain he wants to kill you.
Not this again.
Redcliffe Castle is one of the most defensible fortresses in Ferelden. It has repelled thousands of assaults.
Yep,
if you go in there,
assault
you'll
with the
die,
undead.
and we'll lose the only means we have of closing these rifts. I won't allow it.
Yeah, that's why we keep sending you into danger, or we'd send you over to the
and
Templars
leave a
too.
hostile foreign power on our doorstep.
Even if we could assault the keep, it would be for naught. An Orlesian Inquisition's army marching into Ferelden would provoke a war. Our hands are tied.
The Magister
has outplayed us.
So I don't understand why we can't just go to Denram and appeal this. Like, hey, you guys have like a foreign power. Can we help you guys expel him?
The Magister's son, Felix, told me Alexius is in a cult that's obsessed with me. I doubt they'll graciously receive our apologies and go about their business.
They will remain a threat, and a powerful one, unless we act.
We cannot accept defeat now. There must be a solution.
Where is the Jarl of Redcliffe? I'm sure he'd help us get his castle back.
After he was displaced, Arl Tegan rode straight for Dunrim to petition the Crown for help. I doubt he'll want our assistance once the Ferelden army lays siege to his castle.
Wait. There is a secret passage into the castle, an escape route for the family. It's too narrow for our troops, but we could send agents through.
Too risky. Those agents will be discovered well before they reach the Magister.
That's why we need a distraction. Perhaps the envoy Alexius wants so badly.
Keep attention on Adar, while we disable the Magister's defenses. It's a gamble, but it might work.
Fortunately, you'll have help.
This man says he has information about the Magister and his methods, Commander.
That's why I let him barge in here. Not doing my job as a
Your
soldier.
spies will never get past Alexius's magic without my help. So if you're going after him, I'm coming along.
The plan puts you in the most danger. We can't in good conscience order you to do this. We can still go after the Templars if you'd rather not play the bait. It's up to you.
That's a non-choice for me. I was also kind of like, I was expecting to, when I did choose the Templars over the mages, like, oh, so does that mean like a lot of their foot soldiers are going to be mages now and not like be clearly Templars with like the crystals sticking out? Nope, they're still the same enemies. Oh, we're gonna take Sarah and Blackwall. My two least favorite characters. I think I would say I'd like Vivienne more than these two. At least starting right now. Oh, that's not true. I think I dislike Cole a little more than Blackwall. And then my B team, go. Giants. I haven't run into a giant yet. I remember the first time like, whoa, it's a giant, I'm gonna go attack it, and I think he annihilated me. And then I think I found a way to cheese him, like by just staying really far away and hurling magic at him. My paint got worse.
Announce us.
The Magister's invitation was for Master Adar only. These others will have to remain here.
They have to accompany me. You wouldn't deprive me of my attachés, would you?
To see lessons learned, make sure I didn't lose my connection. Nope.
My Lord Magister, the agents of the Inquisition have arrived.
My friend, it's so good to see you again. And your associates, of course. I'm sure we can work out some arrangement that is equitable to all parties.
Are we mages to have no voice in deciding our fate?
Fiona, you would not have turned your followers over to my care if you did not
That's sort of
trust
what happens
me
when
with
you
their lives.
choose indentured servitude. It's you're kind of willingly giving away your free will.
Of course she trusts you, Alexius. I'm sure lots of people put their lives in your hands. You have one of those faces.
Yes, the Magisterium tells me that so often. Shall we begin our talks? The Inquisition needs mages to close the breach, and I have them. So, what shall you offer in exchange?
Guess I should keep up the facade.
The Inquisition has many backers among the Orlesian nobility. I'm sure we can find suitable compensation.
I'm not sure what the Orlesian nobility have to offer that I don't already possess.
He knows everything, Father.
Felix, what have you done?
Why would you blow your cover?
We made sure to disarm your trap before we came in. I hope you don't mind.
I've yet to see your cleverness, I'm afraid. You walk into my stronghold with your stolen mark, a gift you don't even understand, and think you're in control. You're nothing but a mistake.
If you know so much, enlighten me. Tell me what this mark on my hand is for.
It belongs to your betters. You wouldn't even begin to understand its purpose.
Father, listen to yourself. Do you know what you sound like?
He sounds exactly like the sort of villainous cliché everyone expects us to be.
Dorian, I gave you a chance to be a part of this. You turned me down. The Elder One has power you would not believe. He will raise the Imperium from its own ashes.
That's who you serve. The one who killed the Divine. Is he a mage?
Soon, he will become a god. He will make the world bow to mages once more. We will rule from the Boric Ocean to the frozen seas.
It's just funny because
You
this
can't involve
sounds
my
exactly
people in
like
this.
Solus's plan, only
This is
raise the
exactly what
elves.
you and I talked about never wanting to happen. Why would you support this?
Stop it, Father. Give up the Venatori. Let the Southern Mages fight the breach, and let's go home.
No, it's the only way, Felix. He can save you.
Save me?
There is a way. The Elder One promised, if I undo the mistake at the temple.
I'm going to die. You need to accept that.
Seize them, Venatori. The Elder One demands this man's life.
So I don't understand what killing me gains him, especially when he shows up and tries
Your
to
men are
take the
dead,
mark
Alexius.
away.
You are a mistake. You should never have existed.
Oh no, time magic! So what the hell was he gonna do there? Was he gonna just rewind time? Go back a few minutes? What the hell was his intention?
Blood of the Elder One.
And apparently
Where'd
also
they come
displace
from?
you through space as well. Doing any... He's not doing any damage to me. Does that mean he can't kill me? His needlessly damage punch too.
it's probably not what Alexius intended. The rift must have moved us to what? The closest confluence of arcane energy?
The last thing I remember, we were in the castle hall.
Let's see. If we're still in the castle, it isn't.
With that.
Oh, of course, it's not simply where, it's when. Alexius used the amulet as a focus. It moved us through time.
And apparently space.
Did we go forward in time or back? And how far?
Those are excellent questions. We'll have to find out, won't we? Let's look around, see where the rift took us. Then we can figure out how to get back. If we can.
What was Alexius trying to do?
I believe his original plan was to remove you from time completely. If that happened, you would never have been at the Temple of Sacred Ashes or mangled his Elder One's plan.
So...
I think your surprise in the castle hall made him reckless. He tossed us into the rift before he was ready.
It's also like a reality warper
went
time
wild,
thing.
And
it's
here
like,
we are.
ooh,
Makes sense.
I'm gonna erase you through time. Like that one spaceship from Voyager.
It just seems so insane.
I don't even want to think about what this will do to the fabric of the world. We didn't travel through time so much as punch a hole through it and toss it into the privy. But don't worry. I'm here. I'll protect you.
Aww.
There were others in the hall. Could they have been drawn through the rift?
I doubt it was large enough to bring the whole room through. Alexius wouldn't risk catching himself or Felix in it. They're probably still where and when we left them. In some sense, anyway.
Alexius mentioned an Elder One in the hall. Do you know who he was talking about?
Leader of the Venatori, I suspect. Some magister aspiring to godhood. It's the same old tune. Let's play with magic we don't understand. It will make us incredibly powerful. Evidently, it doesn't matter if you rip apart the fabric of time in the process.
You have a plan to get us back, I hope?
I have some thoughts on that. They're lovely thoughts. Like little jewels.
Alright, let's see. Let's make him all fire base. Wildfire. Let's go with that. Okay, well, it creates electrical, burns longer. Yep, I made mine like a lightning mage. But I did put some points into fire just because I wanted more stat points. I think he starts... I think when you're a mage, you start off with flash fire anyways. Let's see. I got this for you. You can wear this stupid hat and the stupid clothes. Now he's looking all fabulous. And I should have made him red, but I don't think I can dye stuff yet. I don't have any amulets. Yeah, guess that's all you'll have.
Alexius has made a dreadful mess of this place, hasn't he?
I didn't see this part of the castle.
It was covered in the tackiest carvings of wolves and dogs I'd ever seen. This is not an improvement.
Just gold left over in prison. Yeah, just gonna keep a sack of gold right there.
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me. My tears are my sins, my sins, my sins. Andraste guide me, Andraste guide me.
What did they do to you?
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me.
I guess no commentary's like, huh, we must be in the future. Wall of fire. More junk items that people just leave around.
You're alive. I saw you disappear into the rift.
I don't understand. What's happened to you?
Red barium. It's a disease. The longer you're near it, eventually you become this. Then they mine your corpse for more.
Can you tell us the date? It's very important.
So...
Harvest Mia. 942 Dragon.
942? Then we've missed an entire year.
And so, how come Varric's brother didn't start growing lyrium out of him if he had the lyrium idol? Like, probably longer than a year.
I must have missed out on a lot during that year.
You must beware. Alexius serves the Elder One, more powerful than the Maker. No one challenges him and lives.
I've never fought a god before. This should be memorable.
Our only hope is to find the amulet that Alexius used to send us here. If it still exists, I can use it to reopen the rift at the exact spot we left. Maybe.
Good.
I said, maybe. It might also turn us into paste.
You must try.
Better than living in this reality.
Eliana. She is here. Find her. Quickly. Before the Elder One learns you're here.
Castle has like so many
If red lyrium is an infection,
like holding cells.
why is it coming out of the walls?
Are you sure you want to find out?
Well, an explanation would be nice. Because it's not like red lyrium ever gets really explained all that well. I think she should probably also mention, oh yeah, some of your other companions are still here too. Ooh, schematics from the future.
You can't be here. You're dead and they don't come back.
Right, I'm a spirit. I came back just to haunt you.
Why? I didn't do piss to you.
Oh, for the love of... No one's dead. Alexius used time magic.
Talk sense or shut it. I can't think about him.
Look, we're going to end this and get you out of here. Does that help?
A bit. Sort of. Something should. The day you died. I ran out of arrows making them pay. Then it didn't matter anymore. The Elder One killed the Empress. And then invaded. With a demon army. Demons everywhere. Everything is gone. All red. And I want them to hurt. If you're really here, I'll freaking die to spit in their faces.
Blackness here too.
Andraste, have mercy. You shouldn't be here. The dead should rest in peace.
It's really me. And I'm definitely not dead, Blackwall.
I was there. I saw you fall. Spell left nothing but ash.
You skipped over too much. Look at the poor man. Alexius's spell didn't kill us. It sent us forward in time. That's how we survived.
Forward in time? I don't understand.
I don't either.
You're not the only one. Just come help me fight Alexius and maybe we can fix all this.
Maybe I've just gone mad. If what you say is true, then this... everything I've been through, everything about this nightmare is a mistake.
Yes.
Hang on to that feeling. You can take it out on Alexius when we find him.
Good advice. If we make
How
Alexius
could they always
pay for his
conclude
crimes,
that, oh, it must be a
that's enough for
mistake?
me.
Like, they just accept
You want Alexius?
time and stuff.
He's locked in the throne room. Never leaves, for God's sake.
It's also fortunate that they let you keep all your equipment too. That, and you guys also managed to keep your equipment up and not have it fall to pieces being locked up in those cells. And of course, if you're in those cells, how did you guys even hear about like the news about the Queen and the Empress and taking over.
Feels good to be fighting again.
Can we find something else to hit? It'll make me feel better. Might be stuff we can use around here.
Praise his name, but don't reveal his name yet. Take everything. There we go. Right. Oh, guess I missed an urn. Too bad we don't get like any future loot. Like, ooh, a slightly more advanced sword from the future. Woo! Like, no conflicts in terms of bringing stuff from the future into the past.
There is no maker. The Elder One has taken all that is his and will soon rule from his city.
That still doesn't make him a god.
There is no god but the Elder One. The Maker is dead. Say it.
Never. I'll die a good Andrastian before living a second as one of you.
When you needed him most.
That's a dagger. No one can use.
How did the Canary learn of the sacrifice at the temple?
Speak!
Never.
There's no use to this defiance, little bird.
Sacrifice at the temple.
For you to protect.
You're wasting your breath.
Talk! The Elder One demands answers.
He'll get used to disappointment.
You will break.
I will die first. Or you will.
That's some powerful calves for looking like that. Seeing the condition that she's in.
You're alive.
Well, that was impressive.
Anger is stronger than any pain. Do you have weapons? Good. The Magister's probably in his chambers.
You aren't curious how we got here?
No.
Alexius sent us into the future. This, his victory, his Elder One, it was never meant to be.
I need to find Alexius and reverse the spell.
If we can get back to our present time, we can prevent this future from ever happening.
And mages always wonder why people fear them. No one should have this power.
It's dangerous and unpredictable. Before the breach, nothing we did.
Enough. This is all pretend to you. Some future you hope will never exist. I suffered. The whole world suffered. It was real.
I hate her attitude here. It's warranted, but...
What happened while we were away?
This.
Stop talking.
I'm just asking for information.
No, you're talking to fill silence. Nothing happened that you want to hear.
No, we want to hear it, because we need to freaking know to prevent it, you bitch. It's like, hey, here's how to avoid a catastrophe. I know that you don't have to live through my pain, and doesn't make my pain any less
We need
valid.
to find Alexius. I'm sure he'll be in the nicer part of the castle. There is one.
You probably want to tell me everything you know, so you can prevent it. Or being as so devoutly religious as she is, how can she like, it must be a sign from the Maker? Ugh.
The Magister needs more power for his rituals.
No! Let me, Linnea.
That's true.
Die! More freaking demons.
Guess I interrupted that scripted event. Oh, inventory's full already. Hey.
The breach! It's everywhere.
Don't look up. Don't look up. Don't look. Shit. I looked.
Both of those. I think despite having the game still on hard, I don't think I think they intentionally kind of made this level easy because it's like a chokehold point. Let's see. I can destroy this item. Black wall can use this ring. Actual ability he has. You would think bringing some stuff from like the future into the past would cause like paradoxes or something, but no, not a concern. Actually, let me give you some crappy equipment. There, that freaks out the slot. Nothing works. So conveniently, this magic only works because of the breach. Which is kind of weird. It's like, okay, we were dabbling in magic that only works under certain conditions.
No!
Okay.
How can those bastards want a world like this?
They want it to be just like the world of old Tevinter. Comforting, isn't it?
Okay. That was just so pointless.
He resisted that demon to the last. What became of Felix? Do you know?
Yes, I know.
And you're not going to tell me?
You'll find out soon enough.
What a bitch. Like, we're trying to fucking help.
On Draste's name is that? Hold on to it. I want to look at it later.
Nothing could go wrong from carrying red lyrium in my pocket.
Maker's breath. Where did Alexius find this? How did he even move it here?
Recycle.
Can we open it?
Perhaps. But it looks quite strong. How desperate
Too bad those like
paranoid must he be?
shard crystals in my pocket
Servants
wouldn't
must
work.
have a way through. He has to eat. Let's look around.
Okay, let's make this quest more artificially longer by turning it into a fetch quest. Yep, literally nothing.
Quickly.
Like the feature. Oh. They can be immune to my electric powers, that's great.
I go for some light reading.
God, the bees are surprisingly useful. Let's go ahead and take this. Castle is in shambles for this fort.
Somebody had very questionable taste.
Like, what the hell is this layout, too?
They haven't noticed us yet. Good opportunity to look for higher ground.
Kill the foot guy!
Great. Yeah, you would think I'd have the higher ground, I'd be fine. Lies. Anakin Skywalker, you lied to me! Yep, me too.
Sorry for interrupting your dinner.
Oh yeah, I forgot Liliana's in my party. Well, I'm gonna go get something to eat, so I am gonna call it a day. Save here. Alright. Thank you everybody for coming out. And thank you Let's Learn for stopping by the chat. I will see you later. Oops.